watching a special edition of India First. I'm Gaurav Sawant. There's breaking news coming in from the line of actual control. Top sources are telling India today that the Chinese army has pulled back approximately 2 kilometers at the line of actual control in the Galwan Nala area. The Indian Army too has pulled back approximately 1 kilometer as a confidence building measure. But this is only at the Galwan Nala area. This is one of the standoff points at the line of actual control. At the other and equally sensitive standoff point at the Pangong So Lake, the north bank, this is the Finger 4 area. This is where India and China continue to remain in an absolute eyeball to eyeball confrontation, with neither willing to budge an inch. This comes at a time where talks will be held at a very senior level, at the level of Lieutenant Generals of the Indian Army and the Chinese Army. I'm Gaurav Sawant. That's our top focus story, the situation at the line of actual control. But first, so the Chinese army at the Galwan Nala area at the line of actual control in Ladakh is learned to have retreated at least 2 kilometers. The Indian army has stepped back approximately 1 kilometer from the confrontation point. What we're also being told that at Pangong So, at the Finger 4 area, the two armies remain locked in an eyeball to eyeball confrontation, and this comes at a time when at the senior most level thus far, there will be an interaction between the Corps Commander of Leh, General Harinder Singh, and his Chinese counterpart. They will interact on the 6th of June in an effort to defuse. But what sources are telling India today, India insists that China must restore the sanctity of the line of actual control to the pre-May 5 situation. I quickly want to cut across to India Today's editor defense, Abhishek Bhalla, who joins us with the latest on this big story. Abhishek, what are your sources telling you about the Galwan Nala area and what's the significance?
Well, Gaurav, there were 3 flashpoints in the Galwan region and a bit of a breather. One of those points, there has been a slight retreat from both the armies. But having said that, as far as the tensions are concerned, it's still a stalemate. The deadlock continues, but rapid developments ahead of that all-important meet between Lieutenant Generals from the two armies on 6th June. Also, what is very important is that as far as the Finger 4 area and Pangong Lake is concerned, that remains extremely contentious because the Chinese army is actually camping in an area which was until now being controlled by India. It's a sensitive spot, and that's the reason why there is huge deployment by the Indian Army over there. What I've been told, it's a mirror deployment, and it's matching the big numbers of the Chinese army that have been there for the last 3 to 4 weeks now.
Fair enough. Abhishek, keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more. But as India Today's Abhishek Bhalla is telling us that the Indian Army has made one thing very clear. No change in status quo at the line of actual control is acceptable. China must go back. What does that mean? That the Indian Army patrols up to Finger 8. The Chinese Army may patrol up to their claim line, but they cannot set up permanent defenses. Remember, this is happening at a time when both the armies are in a standoff situation at the line of actual control.
The Indian Army moved up additional troops close to the line of actual control in Ladakh, sending across the message that India is prepared for the long haul but will not let China change the status quo at the line of actual control. With multiple rounds of dialogue at the level of battalion, brigade and division commander having failed to being about a de-escalation, the Leh Corps commander Lieutenant General Harinder Singh and his Chinese counterpart will hold talks at the line of actual control near Chushul in an effort to bring down the temperature and resolve the standoff.
A very acute grasp and a very good grasp of geostrategic importance of our geographical territory. What are the options available to China? What are the options available to us in case of face-off? All these matters are well known to the Lieutenant Generals. They have better understanding of all these issues. So I think it's a very good move by the the government.
India has stood firm and communicated to China that no change in status at the line of actual control is acceptable. China has learned to have asked India to stop construction of feeder roads to the LAC. But India has responded saying construction of roads in Indian territory will continue unhindered. According to top sources in the government, while the troops continue to remain locked in an eyeball-to-eyeball situation at Pangong So standoff, they are some distance apart at the Galwan Nala area. However, inputs indicate both sides have reinforcements brought in. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh had recently told India Today that India was firm in its position and additional forces had been deployed even as the efforts were on to find a way forward.
कभी-कभी चीन के साथ कुछ ऐसी परिस्थितियां ये पैदा हो जाती हैं और इसके पहले भी पैदा हुई हैं और हाल फिलहाल में इस मई के महीने में भी वहां पर एलएसी के ऊपर जैसा आपने कहा कि ये परिस्थितियां पैदा हुई हैं, लेकिन इसको सुलझाने की कोशिश जारी है। भारत की भी यही कोशिश है कि तनाव किसी भी सूरत में न बढ़े, बल्कि मिलिट्री लेवल पर यदि बातचीत करनी है तो मिलिट्री लेवल पर बातचीत करके, डिप्लोमेटिक लेवल पर बातचीत करनी है तो डिप्लोमेटिक लेवल पर बातचीत करके उस मामले को सुलझाया जाना चाहिए। और इस समय मैं जानकारी देना चाहता हूं कि मिलिट्री लेवल पर और डिप्लोमेटिक लेवल पर इस समय चाइना के साथ बातचीत चल रही है।
Army Commander Northern Command Lieutenant General Y.K. Joshi and the Leh Corps Commander Lieutenant General Harinder Singh have reviewed deployment across Ladakh.
India has strengthened its deployment along the line of actual control and not just at the friction points. The situation at Pangong So remains in an eyeball-to-eyeball standoff, though it is said that at the Galwan Nala area, the situation is slightly better. Top commanders of India and China will meet at the line of actual control near Chushul in an effort to defuse the situation on the 6th of June. But as India strengthens its defences along the LAC, the message is very clear. No change in the status of line of actual control is acceptable and that India is prepared for the long haul. With Abhishek Bhalla and cameraman Kripal Singh in Delhi, Gaurav Sawant for India Today. Remember, Rajnath Singh, the Union Defence Minister, was saying that there have been situations like this before. I want to refer to the situation at Doklam in 2017. There, India actually walked into Bhutanese territory, a dispute between China and Bhutan, and stopped road construction activity by China in Bhutanese territory. Why? Because it impacted India's national interest. I spoke to Lieutenant General Abhay Krishna, who was then Army Commander Eastern Command, on why India did so and how did India get the dragon to back off then. Any lessons from Doklam that can be used today?
Yeah, I will just put it in one line that the lesson which is derived from Doklam is that it pays to draw a line and then stick by it. So there in Doklam we drew a line, we told the Chinese that you will not come near Torsa Nala, forget about crossing it and getting onto Zamfari Ridge, and we stuck to that. We inducted our troops and we stopped them, and then we remained there only, and finally they blinked because they knew that they can't take it too far, and we also conveyed to them that we are ready for any escalation by moving some equipment openly, and they came to know about it, that the build-up has already started to take place.
Now, this time we are told that China has moved more than 2 brigades for Pangong So and for Galwan. Would they be ready for a bigger standoff, having learned lessons from Doklam themselves? Will we just remain defensive, or is it time for India also to perhaps alter the status of LAC and then negotiate?
Definitely this time they would have also learned lesson from Doklam, so their preparation may be a little better than what they were prepared for in Doklam. But that besides the point. Are they ready? Are they today China being cornered from all over? Is China ready to escalate this beyond a point? I don't think so. China will like to escalate this Galwan or Pangong So incident beyond a point. So we have to stay firm, and if need be, we should build up our troops. And I would say not only in Ladakh region, but we have all the other areas also. And it's not that everywhere only those 12-14 friction points are there where we are vulnerable. There are a lot many other areas where we can also have a say.
Breaking news coming in. US President Donald Trump, in his conversation with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, offered to intervene and help on the issue of China. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is understood to have told the US President, thank you, but no thank you. There are bilateral mechanisms between India and China to address these issues. And I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Foreign Affairs editor Geeta Mohan, breaking this big story here. Geeta, if we are to understand this correctly, is this the second time that the US has now offered to intervene? Both times India saying thank you, but no thank you.
Well, the fact is that there was a lot of conversation, Gaurav, with regards to whether if the matter was discussed between India and the United States of America, and why so if it's a bilateral issue.
But it was
to which
Trump who asked about the situation at the border, asking about what China is doing, to which Prime Minister Narendra Modi made it very clear that there are bilateral mechanisms to resolve the border issue between India and China, and they will be using those mechanisms to resolve the issue. So yes, the second time around that India has conveyed to the United States of America that India-China is a bilateral issue, and the bilateral mechanism has been activated to resolve the issue.
And Geeta, there is no way that we need any outside help or interference to sort out an issue with China. We are the world's two oldest civilizations. We can handle our issues ourselves.
Well, not just with China, Gaurav. India does not require any third-party intervention with any country, any bordering nation. And India has made that very clear. It's a very sensitive subject for India. And I have been asking the United States of America whether if they understand the import of such an offer. President Trump has done that with Kashmir and has repeated that with China to rise China maybe. But for India, it is very, very sensitive, and India has made it very clear any bilateral issue between India and any other country will be handled bilaterally.
Geeta Mohan, for the moment, many thanks for joining me. I quickly now want to take our viewers to the line of actual control, and not just in Ladakh but also in the middle sector in Uttarakhand. Remember, there were some Chinese helicopters that were spotted. That's where India is once again strengthening its defenses. India Today's Manjeet with this report.
As the standoff with China continues on the line of actual control, India is strengthening its presence on the Chinese border in Uttarakhand. India Today's Manjeet Sehgal visited the last village on India-China border for a reality check. The journey to Bagori village began from Harshil town, 40 kilometers away from Nilang Valley.
यहाँ पर एक बड़ा सेंटर है जहाँ पर भारतीय सेना की तैनाती है, सेना की यूनिट यहाँ पर मौजूद है, आईटीबीपी की मौजूद है, और ये इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की तस्वीरें हम आपको दिखाते हैं किस तरह से पिछले कुछ सालों से सरहद तक जो रोड है, जो ब्रिज है, इस इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को कैसे भारतीय सेना की तरफ से मजबूत किया जा रहा है, ये तस्वीरें यहाँ पर दिखाई दे रहे हैं। और इसी सब को लेकर चीनी सेना का विरोध लगातार बढ़ता जा रहा है। चीनी सेना नहीं चाहती है कि सरहद पर भारतीय सेना किसी भी तरह की निर्माण गतिविधि करे।
On our way, army trucks moving towards forward bases could be seen. The standoff with China brings back haunting memories for the people of Bagori. They recount how they were rehabilitated after the 1962 war.
62 के बाद जो है गवर्नमेंट ने हमको जाने नहीं दिया। हमारे सामान मकान है जो है सामान जो हम लोग माइग्रेशन की तरफ चलते थे, जो सामान वहाँ रहते थे वहीं पर लॉक करके हम लोग नीचे आ जाते थे। अब जब 62 में चाइना ने अटैक किया, हम लोगों को जाने नहीं दिया, हमारा सामान वगैरह सब चीज वहीं रह गए, तो हम लोग यहाँ मजबूर से रहना पड़ा।
Further down, bunkers built by the army during the 1962 China war were found.
ये 1962 के दौरान जो यहाँ पर एहतियात के तौर पे ये इस तरफ पुराने बहुत सारे बंकर इस जंगलों में मिलेंगे, इस तरफ बनाए गए थे। और एसएसबी भी एक ट्रेनिंग दिया करती थी, गुरिल्ला ट्रेनिंग वगैरह, वॉरफेयर के लिए, फ्रंट लाइन के लिए शायद तैयार किया जाते रहे होंगे। हम छोटे थे उस टाइम पर, पुराने लोग बताते हैं। तो ये मौजूद है, ये इस तरह से बंकर बहुत सारे मिल जाएंगे आपको जंगलों में।
India is building infrastructure along the LAC. A road to Nilang Valley is under construction. The presence of troops is also very visible. With Manjeet Negi in Nilang Valley in Uttarakhand. Bureau Report, India Today.
I now want to shift focus to the other big story we're tracking here on India Today, and that is the Delhi police charge sheet in the riots that took place in northeast Delhi. And incidentally, according to the Delhi police, there is a link between riots that took place in northeast Delhi and the protests against Citizenship Amendment Act that was taking place at Shaheen Bagh. What's that link? Take a look at this report. Also the fact, according to Delhi police, the former Aam Aadmi Party corporator Tahir Hussain allegedly had a role in the killing of the Intelligence Bureau officer Ankit Kumar.
Months after communal riots rocked northeast Delhi, the Delhi police has found damning links of the violence to anti-CAA protesters. The police charge sheet points out the link between riots in northeast Delhi and Shaheen Bagh, the epicenter of the Anti-Citizenship Amendment Act protests. The police say ousted Aam Aadmi Party leader Tahir Hussain met former JNU student Umar Khalid at Shaheen Bagh on January the 8th through an individual called Khalid Saifi, and decided to plan a plot to shake the Modi government on the issue of the Citizenship Amendment Act and NRC to gain international attention. The charge sheet says that the riots were planned to coincide with the visit of US President Donald Trump. The police claim Tahir arranged funds, logistics and manpower to execute the riots, and Umar Khalid assured of funding through the Popular Front of India or PFI, a charge denied by the Islamist outfit. The next damning revelation in the charge sheet is Tahir's alleged conspiracy to kill IB official Ankit Sharma. Sharma was murdered outside Tahir's residence in the Khajuri Khas area by a mob. The charge sheet mentions that 51 sharp and blunt injuries were found on Ankit's body, which was dumped in a nearby drain by the mob.
हम सब ये चाहते हैं कि जो भी दंगाई थे जिन्होंने मेरे भाई को इतनी बुरी तरीके से मारा, उन सभी को फांसी होनी चाहिए.
Tahir's counsel has however rubbished all of these charges.
Filing of the charge sheet does not mean he found guilty. There is a many stage. Now next stage, scrutiny of the document, and thereafter the matter will be taken up for framing of the charge. There are chances at that time he may be discharged. उसको कोर्ट अगर लगता है कि एविडेंस स्ट्रांग नहीं है तो उसको डिस्चार्ज भी कर सकती है.
The charge sheet also claims a link between the Tablighi Jamaat and alleged riot conspirator Faisal Farooq of Shiv Vihar. The police say Faisal led murder, rioting and loot in Shiv Vihar. The police say he also had links with the Popular Front of India, Pinjra Tod activists and Darul Uloom Deoband, a charge denied by these groups.
We demand that independent inquiry under sitting Supreme Court judge should be set up to investigate about the Delhi violence and the real culprits who belong actually to the Sangh Parivar and the BJP. They should be booked for their role in the violence.
Tahir Hussain was aware that Ankit Sharma is an Intelligence Bureau officer and it won't be easy for him to continue the riots while he is alive. And this is why Tahir Hussain, the suspended Aam Aadmi Party leader, not only conspired but instructed the brutal killing of young IB officer. Munish Pandey in Delhi for India Today.
And there's breaking news coming in. The Delhi government, the Arvind Kejriwal government, has issued show-cause notices to private laboratories and hospitals for conducting COVID tests on asymptomatic cases. That's the information that's coming in, and India Today has accessed the show cause notice sent to private laboratories. Private labs in Delhi have been sent the show cause notice for testing asymptomatic people for COVID-19. The Delhi government's notice states that ICMR testing guidelines are being flouted. Asymptomatic people are being tested. Now, sources in the ICMR have said that since the state is the implementing authority, they are entitled to take action. The question, however, remains, if testing more helps detecting more and treating more, should there be an objection to more tests being carried out? Okay, we will continue to track developments on that story very closely. I now want to shift focus to what's happening in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, in a short and sharp operation, and a rather swift one, the Jammu and Kashmir Police, the Central Reserve Police Force and the Indian Army in Pulwama eliminated 3 dreaded terrorists of the Jaish-e-Mohammed, the Pakistan-based terrorist organization. Now, one of these terrorists was not only an IED maker, but according to investigators in this case, he was a veteran of terrorism in Afghanistan. He had come here, he had participated in several terrorist attacks, including one failed terror attack on a CRPF convoy.
A deafening controlled blast in Jammu and Kashmir's Pulwama district recently. The detonation was triggered by security forces after the Jammu and Kashmir police intercepted this car on a suicide mission with 40 kilograms of explosives. Foiling a repeat of the February 14th attack last year on a security convoy in Pulwama, which had led to India's surgical air attack on Jaish-e-Mohammed bases in Pakistan and POK. On Wednesday, the plotters behind the failed car bomb attack were tracked down by the forces to the Kangan village of Pulwama. After being challenged by forces, the Jaish terrorists opened fire, leading the security forces to retaliate and kill all 3 on the spot. One of the eliminated terrorists was the Pakistani commander of the Jaish, Abdul Rahman, alias Fauji, an IED expert and mastermind of the failed terror plot.
अफगानिस्तान की लड़ाई में उन्होंने पार्टिसिपेट किया था और 2017 से पुलवामा डिस्ट्रिक्ट में इनफैक्ट की पूरे साउथ कश्मीर में एक्टिव है। जो 28 तारीख को जो हम लोग मॉर्निंग में आईडी को जो डिटेक्ट किए थे, आर्मी सीआरपी पुलिस मिलकर उसको बाद में न्यूट्रलाइज किया था। उसमें ये बनाया भी था, इसका बहुत बड़ा मनसा था, बहुत बड़ा इंसिडेंट करने का।
Rahman was a resident of Multan in Pakistan. He was present in Kashmir during the Pulwama suicide attack that killed 40 CRPF Jawans last year. After the elimination of top commanders, he rose through the Jaish ranks. The latest terror kills add to the successful counter-terror operations by forces this year in Jammu and Kashmir. From Hizbul Mujahideen chief Riaz Naiku, his aide Junaid Sehrai, and Ansar Ghazwat Hind deputy chief Burhan Koka, forces have almost wiped out the entire top leadership of terror groups.
जहां तक कितने मिलिटेंट मारे हैं तो 75 मारा गया आज का 3 मिला के, लेकिन इस 75 को अगर लास्ट ईयर से कंपेयर करते हैं तो थोड़ा कम है, लेकिन कमांडर्स का जो नंबर है बहुत ज्यादा है।
In a major encounter that took place this morning in Pulwama area of South Kashmir, 3 militants have been killed. All of them are belonging to Jaish-e-Mohammed outfit. Now security forces say that one of those who has been killed is an IED expert and is believed to be a foreign national. This militant is also believed to be a part of many IED attacks and their planning in the valley, including the car bomb attacks that have taken place. So clearly a huge success for the security forces out there. Let's remember, in last few weeks there have been many such encounters that have taken place in which several militants have been killed in these anti-insurgency operations. With cameraman Tariq Shujaul Haq in Srinagar for India Today.
So in the first 6 months of 2020, 75 terrorists have been neutralized already. But as top army commanders tell India Today, terror launchpads in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir are full. Terror needs to be targeted at source. That is all I have for you on this India First special from Vijay Chowk. Many thanks for watching.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.